Today's topic is the website myth. Do personal trainers even need one? And on today's podcast, we've got a new face and a new voice. It is our business strategist, Andrew Wallace. So welcome to the podcast, Andrew. So yeah, do personal trainers need a website? I think even today the debate is still going on. Back when I was a personal trainer doing one-to-ones in London a good 10 years or more ago, I thought I didn't have a website, but I always wanted one. I thought it was, out of my price range. And like I said, that debate is still going on today. James, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I can't believe this debate is even happening. It is 2023 right now, and you've got to build a brand in some respects for yourself, because there's a million and one personal trainers out there, and I'm seeing so many people just use Facebook, use TikTok, and yeah, it works great for the influencers of this world. However, a website is your professional image. It is the backdrop of who you are. It is the essence of who you are and the quality that you deliver. If you have a half-assed website or no website at all, what do people do when they want to find out more about you? If they hear, okay, I want to hear about this great trainer, what are they going to do? They're going to go to Google and try and search you. If you have an unprofessional website or none at all, that's how they make judgments about you very quickly. So if you haven't got one, you really need to get one, and pretty quickly, because it is your professional image, your brand image that you're trying to portray to make you stand out in comparison to the next person. So in a very short answer, yes, you absolutely need to get a website, an ASAP, if you haven't got one.
Counter arguments could be, I just don't have the money, I don't have the budget to invest into a website. There's a common belief that they can cost many thousands of pounds, many thousands of dollars, and yes, that can be true, but as we'll show, there are other options out there. So that's a key counter argument for sure. And
it's one of those things as well. People see that and also see the issue of time. They haven't got time to update it. Well, what I can say to you, that there's multiple ways for you to do your own website if you wanted to have something out there on your own, which is super cost effective. And that is, you spend a day, you just put aside a day, it's a weekend. Make sure it's your weekend. If you're training clients Monday through Friday, yes, I get it, you'd be tired on the weekend. However, having that initial setup, you're saving yourself time and money in the future by just getting it done. So yes, it'll take a day, but will it be beneficial in the long run? Absolutely. Or alternatively, you hire out to somebody else who can help you create a website, which then comes into the cost aspect, which in today's world, back I think 10 years ago, it would have been really expensive to build a website. It was all custom built and custom designed. However, there are much more cost-effective ways in doing it. Now, you have Wix, you have Squarespace, which are great things to get you started that a lot of trainers go down the line with to begin with. However, it actually proves not very cost-efficient in the long run, because they set it up themselves without having the technical expertise to get it found in Google. Like Mike Hickman's a good example of this recently. We've started working with him building his website, that he never knew that he had to set up Google Search Console, Google Analytics, all these things to help Google actually find you. So there's a big problem in that aspect of yes, there's one thing creating a website, but another one is actually getting it found in Google. So those are, if you are super cheap, you can go down the Wix and Squarespace option.
I was going to say, because obviously I am a techno-tard, would that be a good thing? Would someone like me, who's not great with technology, would it be worth doing Wix and Squarespace, as you say, because you've got to optimize it and all that?
Yes and no. It depends on your budget and what you want to do. There are, obviously, this is a massive plug into what we're doing now at Strength Matters and creating websites for free for personal trainers. But the idea is, if Wix and Squarespace is a good starting point, you're spending $25, $30 or pounds a month on having that space, but it doesn't create leads and set up systems long term. Now, in terms of Strength Matters, what we're doing is we're now offering free website design, because I think there's a big problem with this. I didn't realize my technical ability in my master's in computer science would ever come in useful, but I'm seeing so many trainers making a massive mistake and getting frustrated with their website, essentially, or they go into really expensive web design and they're still not doing the technical expertise to get them found into Google. So that's kind of where we're going into at the moment, is our space. So it is a slight promotional push here. I do apologise, but it's more of a case of drawing awareness around it, that what we've seen recently from many conversations is that it's one thing creating a website, it's another thing getting it found. And there's a big problem in the industry, both in terms of website development, where they don't do the SEO and get you found in Google, and also the fact that the technical expertise needed by trainers to get you found at the same time too.
Yeah, well, we'll go on to spend a minute or two talking about a case study in a second. But Andrew, are there times when it may not be necessary? Like we're talking, if you already have a great referral process, maybe you have, use other social media platforms, anything like that?
There is a potential argument there. I'm a big fan of local community, getting referrals from clients, from complementary businesses, and so on and so forth. But the sooner that you can get your own home digital storefront, your own website, as James says, we can really then benefit from working closely with Google to being found, so it can amplify the outreach that we get then.
I think it's the other thing as well is that in terms of I think the most important marketing lesson I ever learned was you need to own your own traffic, because you can't rely on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, or X as it's now called, because they change their algorithms all the time. So again, TikTok's a great example. This time last year, you can get hundreds of thousands of views on your videos pretty quickly. You're lucky to get 200 these days because they've changed their algorithm into focusing on better quality content. So you're always at their beck and control, essentially. Whereas if you have your own website in Google has one thing to help you get found and promote business and service. That's their business model. So you have a website online, you then control that traffic coming into you as best as you possibly can. Yes, it does SEO updates and Google algorithm updates, but it's more controlled and you know what's coming. But then you try and get that traffic off of Google into your email, into your platform there that you can control and start to nurture and looking afterwards. So it's great, all these influencers with no websites, or they're doing little websites because they're influencers, but that's a very different market that's short-term focused, not for the better professional, I think is the better way to put it.
Yeah. Can you give a quick real-world example of what we've done with one of our clients, Sasky?
Yeah, just really quick with Sasky. So Sasky was one of our living legends here at Strength Matters, and she came to us in April, May saying she's struggling to get clients, and the first thing I saw was that she hasn't got a website. She hasn't got a website. No one could find where she is, or no one could really portray her authority, because she was a great massage therapist and personal trainer. So this is kind of the idea started about and came about. Well, we built her a website in less than a week. And within a week, not only did she have a website, she had a booking system, a payment system, and she also had, she reached the top of Google, both in terms of sports massage therapy, when you search that into her local town, but also into what we call the Google Map Pack as well, which is where most traffic you get to your local business comes from. So just bear that in mind. 86% of most clicks and most business clicks click on the Google Map Pack in local business and SEO when they want to try and find you. So, that's a really short, and we'll go into more depth in her case study later down the line, but that's a very good example of how it can transform somebody's business in less than a week to get new leads and clients coming in if you get found and can be found easily with a website that you can, A, works, B, converts, and C, can get found by Google.
Absolutely. Before we sign off, Andrew, can you just sort of give us a little summation, some of the pros and cons for us, if you could?
So the pros, obviously, we've got a professional image. It gives us 24/7 advertising, and we're front and center then when somebody's using Google. You're on a level playing field with other trainers who already have websites. The cons, obviously, we mentioned the costs involved, whether or not you're a technophobe, because of the design, hosting issues to be considered, the time commitment to put into those side of things, and then the effectiveness against the likes of the presence that you have on social media. So they're the pros and cons in a nutshell.
Fantastic. And that is it for today. Please don't forget to rate, review and subscribe. And if you want to find out what's holding you back from growing your fitness business, go to strengthmatters.com/quiz.